I want to talk about the Warriors side of things because Klay Thompson, save it for the commercial break. Klay Thompson said the Warriors gave the win away, that with a comfortable lead, they relaxed late, and they lacked a killer instinct. So, Scottie, we've been talking, and you're the one that we want to talk to this about. When you are part of a dynasty and you're going back to the finals every year, I get it. It is so easy to just be like, it's a game in January. I don't care. But if you keep not practicing stuff that you will need in the playoffs, like a killer instinct, do you think that is going to catch up with them?
Yes, I think it will catch up, but I don't think it should be judged on last night's game why Klay said that, because you played one of the best teams in the league, and it wasn't about the killer instinct. It was about you closing the game out, and it's really, to me, about their personnel. I don't think that they have the personnel that they need to be dominant, as we've seen in years past. We've seen them have Bogut. We've seen them have JaVale McGee. You look at those two players, they are 7-footers. They got speed on the court in terms of running direct line to the rim. The Golden State Warriors don't have that guy anymore. That guy made Steph Curry game very valuable to me. It also made Klay Thompson game very valuable because now you got two great shooters coming off, and you pretty much got two defenders that are going to close out to them, and they got a 7-foot rim runners running to the rim. They don't have that piece, and that's causes them a lot as far as their shooting percentage because they're not getting any easy baskets anymore. We watched for years Klay driving the lane, getting layups. That's not happening now because they don't have that 7-foot guy running to the rim, and everybody is getting better. Teams are getting better. Teams are starting to close the gap on them. So last night's game to me was really not about them closing out. It was about the Houston Rockets are showing that they can score the basketball as well as they can.
Yeah, why didn't we give Harden credit for playing amazing?
And by the way,
Rockets?
Clint Capella, you mentioned at the top of the show, Clint Capella had a rock star game last night, right? And Eric Gordon started hitting in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter. The Rockets weren't making their threes the first half, and then they made them in the second half. Exactly. And as you said, that's a credit to them, right?
Yes. That's why you keep shooting them, by the way, even when you have a disastrous Game 7 like they did. But the other part of this is, I hope I'm wrong, but I get serious vibes of disease of me with the Warriors.
Really?
I get serious vibes that the agenda that was in place 3 years ago, 4 years ago, even last year, has changed into individual agendas. A lot of grumbling and complaining. Complaining.
Complaining.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a new dictionary word. We got to add that to Paul Pierce's dictionary.
Yeah. Put that on my bio.
Right.
But I got a bad sense. I got a bad feeling about this.
Do you have any evidence for this?
I got a bad feeling about this.
You know the slogan is strength in numbers.
Wow.
And I think what we're seeing right now is, instead of the 5 fingers in a closed fist, the strength in numbers, you're seeing 5 fingers try to do their own thing for their own different reasons.
Wow. I don't know if I go that far. I do think the habits are a thing. We talked certainly last season, but even the season before, about the Cleveland Cavaliers and the defensive just sort of giving up that they were doing and not rotating and all the really basic defensive principles they weren't practicing during the regular season. And sure enough, during the NBA Finals, and again, I'm not even talking about the most recent one because it was a whole bunch of bag of issues, but the one before it, they suddenly had to play defense, and they weren't doing the things that they couldn't just snap their fingers and do the things that they hadn't been doing all season. So I get it, and you've sat up here a lot and talked about how when you're in one of these dynasty teams, it is hard to get motivated during the regular season. But these are bad habits to some degree, and teams like the Rockets are going to keep coming.
The other funny thing is, I looked this up while you were giving your answer. In both of your three-peats, in the third year, you guys won the least amount of games out of the other 3 championship years. And so that's part of it is just you tired.
It is. It's a part of injuries you can throw in there, but yes, as a team, you do get a little bit laid back during the regular season, and you get a little bit complacent, but that's part of winning because you know what the ultimate goal is, and it's just about you getting there again.
Right. And Warriors
you can't spend all the fuel trying to win the regular season.
Right. And Warriors fans, of course, will answer back at this whole segment and go, and yes, and Scottie won a title in both of those third years of those 3-peats, and they think they will too. That is the answer until someone beats them.